RebeccaFredericksTV is an exciting new brand run by women for women, which believes that we need to take control of our lives and redefine what success means for the 21st century woman. The brand empowers women like you with the self-confidence to go out there and create the success and therefore the lives that they want. Covering self, work, relationships, fitness, and nutrition. We provide all the tools, tips, strategies, and support you need to create a life you love.
Hi and welcome. I'm Rebecca Fredericks and welcome to RebeccaFredericksTV, the place to be for your personal and professional success. Today I want to talk to you about the power of questions and how we should be consciously using them to direct our lives. Now, a question is just a sentence or a word used to elicit information. Typically, we only ask questions of other people, but we ask questions to get information. So why don't we ask questions of ourselves? Questions like, what do I want? Or how does that make me feel? Or what makes me happy? These are all questions that we should be asking ourselves. Now, a few years ago, I realized I didn't know the answer to some very, very important questions. And the reason I didn't know the answer was because I had never really stopped to ask myself the questions. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what would make me happy. I didn't know what I needed to be doing because I'd never thought to stop and ask. And because I wasn't asking the right questions, I wasn't getting the right answers. Without taking the time to find out what I wanted to know for me and my life, it was hardly surprising that I didn't really know who I was or what I wanted. And it was only when I came to the terrifying realization that I had no idea who I was or what I wanted that I realized I had to find out. And the only way to find out, to elicit the information, was to ask. And the only person who actually knew the answers was me. And it was then that I started to understand the power of questions and how they could completely change the direction of our lives. And questions aren't only powerful in finding out about yourself, about what you want and what you need. They are also powerful in directing your mind where you want to go and onto the things that you want to achieve. Questions are so powerful because they have the ability to immediately change our focus. Our personal reality rests on what we focus our minds on. So by changing the questions we ask ourselves, we can also change our mental focus. And our brains love it when we ask ourselves questions because questions provide the mind with incentive, with direction, and with focus. This works because as soon as we ask ourselves a question, our brain immediately begins searching for an answer. So the questions you ask yourself will determine your thoughts, your actions, your relationships, anything and everything that you can think of. By asking yourself the right questions, you can begin to focus your mind on the things you want to be focusing your mind on. If you want to find out what makes you happy, ask yourself the question, what makes me happy? If you want to know how to increase your income by £200 a month, ask yourself the question, how can I increase my income by £200 a month? If you want to become a more supportive friend, ask yourself the question, how can I become a more supportive friend? By asking yourself the questions, you're getting your mind to focus on providing you with the answers. So now we know how important questions are. How do we know what questions to ask and how to ask them? Well, the key to asking these types of questions is to make sure that they cause your mind to focus on possibilities and solutions that empower you to take action. Many of the questions we ask ourselves daily actually make us pretty unhappy and depressed. These negative questions limit us and our potential by reducing or shutting off the behavioral options offered by our brains. Think, why does nothing good ever happen to me? Or why is my life so boring? You know the kind of questions I'm talking about. But by training yourself to consciously ask empowering questions, you will direct your mind to continually focus on new possibilities and new behavioral options. Now, the trick with empowering questions is to include some kind of positive assumption about the resulting answer, because assumptions motivate and give direction. A question with an inherent positive assumption will cause you to answer it in a positive way. For example, what am I grateful for today? This question will lead you to answer in the positive with all the good things that have happened. So let's look at a quick and easy strategy for asking questions of yourself. I call this my asking the right questions strategy. 1. Think of the answers that you were looking for at this time in your life. 2. Work backwards from this answer to create the question you need to ask. 3. Frame the question so that it includes a positive assumption. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say that you were looking for a way to turn your favorite hobby into your full-time career. So the question you might ask yourself could be, what are all the possible ways that I can make money from my hobby? By asking yourself this question, you'll give your brain direction and focus on all the possibilities. So you're going to be asking yourself about all the ways that you can make money because you're assuming that you can make money. And it is this focus attained through asking yourself the right questions that will give you direction and help you to ensure your success. So now I want to give you your exercise for the week. I want you to think about 3 questions that will focus your mind on what you want to achieve. Questions to which you want to know the answers. Questions which will empower and motivate you. So for example, these could be questions like, what is going to move me forward with my goals today? Or what's the most useful thing I can do right now? Or how can I best focus my talents and abilities? Think of questions that will really motivate and inspire you to take action. And these questions are tools for you to use as and when you need them. So make sure that you write them out or print out these questions. I've put the examples that I've given you in the exercise blueprint for today's episode. And once you've got them, put them in your wallet so that as soon as you find yourself asking the negative and close-minded questions and falling into a limited mindset, you can get them out, read them, and get empowered immediately. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've liked this episode, then please like it below and like it on Facebook and share it with any of your friends that you think may find this helpful. Now, I would love to hear from you. What questions have you come up with to ask yourself? Share them with us. They'll inspire and support other women in finding their list of empowering questions. And here's your Thursday tip tweetable. Questions have the power to change your focus and direction. What questions are you asking yourself? And as always, remember that you are in control of your own life. If you want something to happen, you have to go out there and make the changes. That's not to say that others can't support you and help you. That's why I'm here, and that's what your friends and your family are for. But you have all the power that you will ever need inside yourself. So use it and create a life and a future that you love. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.